Hey guys, welcome back to Priscilla's Craft Shop, and on this video we're making Bluey in child size. I have the written pattern on my website. As always, I will include in the description the colors necessary for Bingo and Bluey. They are the same pattern, just different colors. And don't forget to like and subscribe. So here's what you're going to need to get started. We are working with an H hook, a G hook, some scissors, a threading needle. I use the Yarnspirations Karen 1 pound in Midnight Blue. And then I also use the Yarnspirations Karen 1 pound in Sky Blue. And then I just take impeccable yarn loops and threads in gold, white, and black. And you only need some scraps in black. So any worsted weight number 4 yarn will do. If you find colors that are similar, that works. And let's get started. Alright, so getting started on the base of the hat, we're going to be using an H hook and our Midnight Blue. Now you're going to work a magic circle, and in that magic circle you will chain 2 and work 9 double crochets into that magic circle. So it is important to note that throughout this pattern, the chain 2 does not count as a double crochet. You're only using it as a space filler. So magic circle, chain 2, work 9 double crochets into that magic circle. And pull your magic circle tight. And now you're going to slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 2. This next round is an increase, so you will be working 2 double crochets in each stitch around. Again, the chain 2 does not count as a double crochet, so you are working 2 double crochets into that same stitch as your chain 2. So since you are working 2 double crochets around each stitch, you will have a total of 18 double crochets at the end. All right, once you work your last set of 2 double crochets, you're going to join with a slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 2. This next round is another increase. You are going to work 2 double crochets in one stitch, 1 double crochet in the next, 2 double crochets in one stitch, 1 double crochet in the next. So that's going to be what you're going to repeat around. 2 double crochets in one stitch, 1 double crochet in the next, 2, 1, 2, 1. And you're going to continue to repeat that around. And at the end of your round, you will have a total of 27 double crochets. Okay, join with a slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 2. This next round is going to be another increase, and it will be 2 double crochets in one stitch, double crochet 2 times in the next 2 stitches. So let me word that better. 2 double crochets in one stitch, 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 2 double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, 2 double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. And you're going to continue that around, and at the end of it, you will have a total of 36 double crochets. Alright, at the end of this round, you're going to join with a slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 2. This next round is another increase, 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, and 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 2 double crochet in 1 stitch, 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So basically 2 DCs, DC, DC, DC. And you're going to continue that around, and at the end of this round you will have a total of 45 double crochets. So again, that's 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches, and just repeat that around for 45 double crochets. Alright, now you're going to join with a slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 2. This next round is another increase. You will be working 2 double crochets into the first stitch and 1 double crochet into the next 4 stitches. So 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, 1 double crochet into the next 4 stitches. And just repeat that around. So that's 2 double crochets into that first stitch, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 2 double crochets into this next stitch, 1, 2, and now 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're just going to repeat that around, and this will give you a total of 54 double crochets. All right, now when you get to the end of the round, you're going to join with a slip stitch and chain 2. This next round is not an increase. You are just going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch around. So 1 in each one around for a total of 54 double crochets. Do not increase, just work 1 in the same stitch as that chain 2, because like I said, the chain 2 does not count as anything, and then 1 in each stitch around. Okay, join with a slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 2. Now we're going to go back into another round of increase. This time you're going to work this time you're going to work 2 double crochets into one stitch and 1 double crochet into the next 8 stitches. So 2 that one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue along. So 2 double crochets in one stitch, 1 double crochet in the next 8 stitches, and you're going to repeat that around. And at the end of the round, you're going to have a total of 60 double crochets. All right, at the end of that round, you're going to join with a slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 2. We are now reaching our last increase. Okay, for this round, you're going to work for this row, you're going to work 2 double crochets in the first stitch and 1 double crochet in the next 9 stitches. So that's 2 double crochet and 1 double crochet in the next 9 stitches. And at the end of this round, you will have a total of 66 double crochets. All right, join with a slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 2. That was our last increase row. So I just want to count the rows to make sure that we are all on the same page and that we all have the same number of rows. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for here on out, with this, you're still using this midnight blue color. You should have 9 rows so far. You're going to continue to work 1 double crochet in each stitch around for a total of 66 double crochets. And you're going to continue doing that until you get to row 13. So you have 9 now. You need to be at row 13. All right, just continue doing the rounds. Okay, guys, so once you finish your 13th round, let's just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Do not slip stitch that. We're going to do that with our light blue color. So we're going to fasten off our midnight blue, and then we're going to take our sky blue and we are going to slip stitch into our first double crochet using the sky blue. I just prefer this method. I feel like it just makes it for a more cleaner look and more seamless if possible. So this is how I do that. I just pull up and then I tighten up the dark and the light blue, the shorter ones. I just pull on that tight and then I chain 2. And now you are going to work a row of double crochets in each stitch around for a total of 66 double crochets. And we are going to do this for the next 3 rows. So there will be 3 rows of 66 double crochets in this sky blue color. Okay guys, once you have completed your 3 rows, now it's time to move on to the ear flap. So we're going to finish that off. We're going to join with a slip stitch into our first double crochet, and we're going to chain 1. So I just want to flatten it out and kind of give a little measurement for you guys, because sometimes I do get asked this. It is a little less than 8, if you can see. So it's just right under 8 inches, and then the width is about 9 inches. So that is just, again, how I crochet my tension. Your tension might be different, but that's just where I'm at, because I do get asked these questions. So now we're going to work on the ear flap, and we are going to work a total of 12 single crochets. And you are going to start that first single crochet in the same stitch as your chain 1. Chain 1 and turn. This next row is going to be a decrease, so you're going to single crochet 2 together the first 2 stitches, and then work 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you're going to single crochet 2 together those last 2 stitches, chain 1 and turn. You're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 10 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. This next row is a decrease, so you're going to work a single crochet 2 together for those first 2 stitches, and then 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now you're going to single crochet 2 together those last 2 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. This next row, you're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 8 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. This next round is another decrease, so single crochet together the first 2 stitches, work 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches, and single crochet together those last 2 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. This next round is you're going to work 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches. Chain 1 and turn, another decrease, single crochet together the first 2 stitches, work 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then single crochet together those last 2 stitches. Chain 1 and turn, work 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. 2, 3, 4, chain 1 and turn, single crochet together the first 2 stitches, and single crochet together the last 2 stitches, chain 1 and turn, single crochet together those 2 stitches. And now we're going to fasten off. And you have completed your first ear flap. Okay, so I use a standing single crochet version to connect my ear flap. You can do it with a chain 1 and single crochet in the same stitch. This is your seam, this is your join, so that will be the back. So you're going to skip the front stitches, and you're going to skip a total of 25 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so in the next stitch, you're going to insert your hook and pull up and single crochet, and now you're going to work a total of 12 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. This next row is a decrease, single crochet together the first 2 stitches, and work 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches. And now single crochet together those last 2 stitches, chain 1 and turn. This next row, you're just going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 10 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. Now you're going to work another decrease, so single crochet together those first 2 stitches. You're going to work 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches, and then single crochet together those last 2 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. Now you're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 8 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. Another decrease, work 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches, and then decrease those last 2 stitches with a single crochet together, chain 1 and turn. You're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 6 single crochets. And please feel free to slow down this part if you need it to go a little slower for you. Another decrease, so single crochet together those first 2 stitches, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then single crochet together in those last 2 stitches, chain 1 and turn. Now you're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 4 single crochets, chain 1 and turn, single crochet together the first 2 stitches, single crochet together those last 2 stitches, chain 1 and turn, and single crochet together those last final 2 stitches. Now you're going to fasten off, and this is what your hat should look like. This would be the front of it. Obviously it's inside out, and then this is the back, and we know that this is the back because this is where we did our join when we changed our colors, and that's where you can sort of see the seam. So what I do now to single crochet around the hat is I fold it, flaps facing each other, and this is my back, and that's where I'm going to insert my hook, because obviously it's in the back of the hat. Nobody can see it. You know, the kid can't see it. Now you're going to single crochet all around the hat. And you're just doing this so that the ear flaps can look like one cohesive piece with the hat. Now when I'm doing up the sides of the ear flaps, I'm just finding little holes that I can fit it into. I'm not struggling too much with it. I'm not overdoing it or not putting in enough so that it looks kind of stretched out. Just wherever I can fit it. And then at the top, at that one single crochet at the top, I'm going to insert 2 single crochets there. Now I do that because I like my ear flaps to have a rounded out look. You can just put 1 if you want. It's a complete total preference. And if you notice, my leftover tail from the top of the ear flap, I'm kind of crocheting it along my ear flap just so that it kind of, when I go to fasten everything off, it just makes life easier for me. I feel like it's more secure, and that's just how I like to do it. You do not have to do that, but that's just a little tip that I like to give you because it really does help me secure all of the loose ends on my hats. So you're just going to continue single crocheting around the base, and I will see you when we are done. Okay, so now let's join with a slip stitch into our first single crochet, and let's fasten that off. And this is what your hat is going to look like. Again, it's obviously it's inside out, but let's tie up all of our loose ends. You take your threading needle and you can just watch how I do it. This is completely what you feel comfortable with. But if you are new to crocheting and you're following along and you kind of want insight on how to do this, I just try to go through whatever back loops and then tie my little knots. I like to do 3 knots. The first knot I always make is not the tightest, just because I feel like that adds tension to your hat, and I don't want that. This you can do tight, not a big deal, but I like to do 3 little knots. I feel like that makes it secure, and then I cut close to where the knot is so that I don't leave too much loose ends. And yeah, that's just how I tie off all of these extra loose ends that we have. All right, so we have our base done. The next step now is to work on our accents, or basically what makes our face. The first thing we're going to work on are the ears. All right, so this can be pulled to the side. You're going to need your midnight navy and your gold or your midnight blue. I keep saying midnight navy, it's midnight blue. And an H hook. All right, you're going to make one in blue, in the navy, and one in gold. All right, and this is how you do this. We're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. In the second chain from your hook, you're going to work a single crochet, and you're going to work a single crochet in each stitch down for a total of 8 single crochets. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chain 1 and turn. This next row will be a decrease, so you will work a single crochet into the first 2 stitches, a single crochet together, a single crochet together into the first 2 stitches, and then 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those last 2 stitches, we're going to work a single crochet together, chain 1, and turn. For this next row, you will just do 1 single crochet in each stitch for a total of 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 1 and turn. This next row will be another decrease. You're going to work the first 2 into a single crochet together, 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and those last 2 stitches that are left, you're going to work a single crochet together. Chain 1 and turn. You are now going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 1 and turn. This next round is another decrease, so you're going to single crochet the first 2 together, single crochet the last 2 together, chain 1 and turn, work 1 single crochet in each stitch for a total of 2 single crochets, chain 1 and turn, and do a last decrease with a single crochet together. You do not need a long tail for sewing. That is enough. All right, the gold might be easier to see than the blue. So I'm going to go on ahead and do the gold with you, even though it's the same as the blue. just in case you need a more visual of the ear as opposed to just listening to the pattern. So you're going to chain 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now in the second stitch from your hook, you're going to insert your hook and make 1 single crochet. And you're going to work 1 single crochet all the way down for a total of 8 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chain 1 and turn. This next row is a decrease. You're going to work those first 2 stitches together in a single crochet 2 together stitch. Now you're going to work 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you are left with 2 single crochets. You're going to decrease that with a single crochet 2 together stitch. Pull up, chain 1 and turn. This next row, you are going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 1 and turn. This next row, it is a decrease. You're going to work these 2 stitches together with a single crochet together. Work 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So that's 1, 2. And then the last 2 stitches, we're going to single crochet 2 together. Chain 1 and turn. Now you have 4 stitches. You're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 4 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. Another decrease, single crochet together for the first 2 stitches and single crochet together for these last 2 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. Work 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 2 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. Do your last decrease with a single crochet together for these 2 stitches. You do not need a long tail for sewing. And these are your earpieces. Now we just have to put them together. All right, guys, so for this portion, you're going to need your threading needle and your scissors, and I'm going to show you how to fasten off those loose ends so that then we can crochet the sides of our ears. So your ears go like this, with the gold on facing you and the blue on the outside. So what I do is I take my gold, since it's going to lay flat like this onto the blue part, and I just bring this excess yarn to the back. And I kind of just go along any little black loop here. Again, you want to just find little loops so that you don't see it in the front. And then I just tie a couple of knots. You don't want to go too tight because you don't want the ear to fold with, into itself. So you want to be mindful of that. Get rid of that. That's the gold part. So now with the blue, you're not going to go to the back because that's the back of the ear. And you can see that in the back of the hat. You're going to want to go into the front. So I pull it like this. Again, just through loops so that you don't see it on the other end of it. Grab this part. Tie that. I normally do 3, but 2 is fine for this part. That's the inside. This is the inside. And you have fastened off your ears. So now you're going to take your H hook and your blue, just pull. It's kind of like stuck on something and it's making it a little harder for me. Oh my goodness. All right. And with a standing single crochet, and take this one, we're going to start on the bottoms of our ears. So we're going to turn it upside down. This is the top. This is the 1 single crochet on the top. And this is the bottom. Okay? So just get that little loop that's there. And this loop. And I just single crochet along this little back end from my chain, my initial chain. And please note that we started on this end, okay? That's important to note because we're going to do the opposite side on the other one. Kind of, you might have to really just insert. So from the sides, there's no exact stitches. I kind of just insert it where it just seems the most natural, where it fits, where it doesn't give me a hard time. So now we are on the top at that 1 single crochet on the top. And you are going to work a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. And now continue to single crochet down the side. And join with a slip stitch into your first single crochet and leave a long tail for sewing. Now we're going to work on his eyebrows. So again, you're going to need your sky blue color and a G hook. And for this, we are making 2 of them. All right, so follow along and then do it 2 times. For this one, with your sky blue and your G hook, you're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the second chain from your hook, you're going to work a single crochet and you're going to continue single crocheting all the way down for a total of 7 single crochets. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 1 and turn. Work 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 7 single crochets. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and leave a long tail for sewing. Doesn't have to be super, super long. I do mine's exaggerating because I don't know why I do that, but that's why I do. All right, so you have your long tail for sewing on this side and you have your short ends. This is how I get rid of this one because we don't need all of these extra strings when we are sewing on to our hat. I kind of put it through here, go to the back, just put it behind the loops, give it a nice little tug, and then I just cut it short on there. And this is the front, and we know that this is the front because this is the front of our single crochet. This is the back. That's where our, excess yarn is hidden. And we're going to do the same on this side. Just pull it through the back, turn it around. Again, this is our front. This is our back. And I just pull it through these little back loops back here so that you cannot see it in the front. And just, I pull it and I chop it off. And our eyebrows are done. Okay, guys, so this next part, we are going to be working on the bridge that goes in between Bluey's eyes. And for that, you're going to need your sky blue color and a G hook. Okay, so now we're going to chain a total of 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in your third chain from your hook, you're going to work a half double crochet, and you're going to continue working a half double crochet down that chain for a total of 8 half double crochets. Chain 2 and turn. Now, working in our back loops only, that is the loop that is furthest from us, we're going to continue working 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, in each stitch across. So you're just going to do another row of 8 half double crochets, but in the back loops only. And now we're going to continue doing this for a total of 12 rows. So chain 1, turn, chain 2, turn, half double crochet in each stitch across for a total of 8 half double crochets in back loops only. All right, let's just give it a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it should have this sort of accordion look to it. We want that because we kind of want Bluey's face to have a little bit of texture, I guess you can say. All right, but that's how you do the bridge of his nose. All right, the next step is the eyes. The eyes is 2 parts. You have the black part of the eyes and the white part of the eyes. So first, let's do the black part. Again, you need to make 2 of them. So follow along and then do it again. You're just going to take your black yarn. And I know this is going to be not the easiest to see, so it's a really simple pattern. I just work a magic circle, pull up, chain 2, and then I work 12 half double crochets into this magic circle. 1, so again, 12 half double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're going to close your magic circle as tight as possible. And then you're going to join with a slip stitch into your first half double crochet and leave a tail for sewing. And you're doing this with your G hook. And so you just cut off the back piece. Here's your other one. You have your long tail for sewing, and you have your back piece, which is shorter. Just cut that off. And the 2 black parts of your eyes are complete. Now you have to move on to the white section. So for the white section, again, you're going to be using your G hook, and we're going to work a magic circle, chain 2, and you are going to work 12 double crochets into this magic circle. Again, that is 12 double crochets. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you're going to pull your magic circle closed and join with a slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 2. This next round will be an increase. So you're going to work 2 double crochets together into the first stitch and 2 double crochets together into the next 3 stitches for a total of 8 double crochets. All right, so follow along. This chain 2 does not count as a double crochet, so we are going to work 2 double crochets into that same stitch as that chain 2. So 1, 2, 2 double crochets into the next stitch, 3, 4, 2 double crochets into the next stitch, 5, 6, 2 double crochets into the next one, 7, 8. Now you are going to work 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Now for the next 4 stitches, you are going to work 2 double crochets in each of the next 4 stitches, like we did over here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now work 1 double crochet in those last 2 stitches. Join with a slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 2. This next round will be our final round about for the eye, but it is an increase. So you're going to work 2 double crochets into the next 6 stitches, all right, including this first one. Again, the chain 2 does not count as a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you are going to work 1 double crochet into the next 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we are going to work 2 double crochets into the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You should be left with 4 stitches, and you are going to work 1 double crochet in each one of those stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Join with a slip stitch into your first double crochet and leave a long tail for sewing. This is what your eye should look like. I just tighten up my center, and then you don't have to get rid of that yet because we're going to add the black. So this is what it would look like. You need to make a total of 2 of these. Okay, so this is one white, this is the other white, and these are your blacks. You are going to, sorry, I keep hitting the camera. You are going to sew one on this side of the eye and one on this side of the eye so that it sort of looks like he's looking like this. And this is how we're going to do that. So I'm going to move this out of the way so that we could just focus on the first one. You're going to take your black, and this is your white. I kind of have this on the side. This is your center, and I sort of just put it against this row here, this line that's there, and the center. And that's sort of my ruler, I guess. And I literally just sew this edge along this line. That's right there. And that's gonna help you follow along with the other side so that it's more or less even. you know, not, you want it to look symmetrical. It might not be exactly perfect to, you know, the exact measurement, but you want it to at least appear symmetrical, and following those lines will help you do that. All right, so that's the first one. And then what I do is I kind of just like push it. And then I take this back. Okay. And I take this back and I just tie it off. This one side is done. Now we have this other side. We have this like this, and I kind of put this, so you notice on this side, I did it like this because I'm going to start sewing it onto my hat from here around. And this side, I will do the same, except I'm gonna have this on this side of it because I'm gonna sew it from here around, okay? So now we line it up again with our row here and our center. And that's just how I go along. And then we do the same, cut off the excess, and I make a knot. Get rid of that. And our eyes are done. All right, and we are on the final stretch of making his face, which is this snout and nose area. So this part is worked in two separate parts, the nose and then the back piece of the snout. So first, let's just do the nose. You're going to take your midnight blue and your G hook, and we are going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. My goodness. Okay, let's try this again because my hook does not want to stay. All right, chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In your third stitch from your hook, you're going to half double crochet, and then you're going to continue doing a half double crochet across for a total of 5 half double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 2 and turn. Now we're going to work a decrease. So the first 2 stitches, you're going to half double crochet 2 together. Half double crochet in 1 stitch. And then the last 2 stitches, half double crochet together. Chain 2. This next round is another decrease. You have 3 stitches. You're going to work a half double crochet together into the first 2 stitches. And then 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 2. And turn. This next 2, you have 2 stitches. You're going to decrease with a half double crochet together. Leave a long tail for sewing. and this is your nose. All right, for this snout area, you're going to use two colors, the gold and the sky blue. All right, again, we're going to use our G hook, and we're going to start off with our gold. All right, so for this, you have to really pay close attention. If you need the written part of this, you can find that on my website, but you have to pay really close attention because it can get a little tricky. Okay, I'm gonna try to go as slow as possible so that you don't miss anything. So we're going to start with a magic circle. You're going to chain 2, and you are going to work 8 half double crochets into this magic circle. Okay, 8 half double crochets. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to close your magic circle, pull it tight, and slip stitch into your first half double crochet. Chain 2. Don't worry about that little gap there. We can pull it shut after we're done, okay? This next row is going to be an increase, but this is where we're going to start our square shape. All right, so you are going to work 3 half double crochets into that first stitch. This chain 2 does not count as a half double crochet. You're going to work 3 into that same stitch as your chain 2. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. You are going to work 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. 1. Now we are going to work 3 half double crochets into that next stitch. 1, 2, 3. 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. 3 half double crochets into that next stitch. 1, 2, 3. 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. 3 half double crochets into that next one. 1, 2, 3. 1 half double crochet into that last stitch, and join with a slip stitch into your first half double crochet. Chain 2. This is what you should have so far. If you want to give that center a tug, you can, but this is what it should look like. This next round, again, another increase, so just follow along. We are going to work 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So into the same stitch as your join and into the next one. Okay, so that's 1 and 2. So you have 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now we are going to work 3 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. Now you are going to work 1 half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. Now 3 half double crochets into that next stitch. 1, 2, 3. 1 half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, the next one, 2, the next one, 3. 3 half double crochets into that next stitch. 1, 2, 3. 1 half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 half double crochets into that next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 half double crochet into that last stitch and join with a slip stitch into your first half double crochet and chain 2. So far, this is where we are at, okay? Next round. Again, another increase. So just follow along. You're going to work 1 half double crochet into the next 4 stitches. That includes this same stitch as our join, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? 3 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. 1 half double crochet into the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. 1 half double crochet into the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 half double crochets into that next stitch. 1, 2, 3. 1 half double crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 1 half double crochet into that last stitch. Join with a slip stitch into your first half double crochet and chain 2. This is what we should have. It's looking like a square, all right? This next round will be our last round using our gold, and it will be our last increase. But we are working on the back loops only because we want to have that 3D effect, right? So again, follow along. 1 half double crochet into the next 6 stitches, back loops only, including this stitch where we did our join. All right, so back loops only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry, that one didn't grab the whole back loop, so let me just redo that one. 6. 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, back loops only. 1, 2, 7 half double crochets. 1 half double crochet into the next 7 stitches, back loops only. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, back loops only. 1, 2. 1 half double crochet into the next 7 stitches, back loops only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, back loops only. 1, 2, 1 half double crochet into the next 7 stitches, back loops only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, back loops only. 1, 2, and 1 half double crochet into that last stitch, back loops only. And don't join, leave it there. We're going to cut off. You do not need to leave a long tail for sewing. And now your light blue, your sky blue comes in. So this is how I like to do my joins. You see, we haven't joined it yet. I'm going to go in to my first half double crochet as I would if I were joining and doing a slip stitch, except I'm going to work a slip stitch with my sky blue. Pull through, pull the gold, and pull the short version of the short side of your light blue and chain 1. And now you are going to work a single crochet around each and every stitch, just 1 single crochet through both loops. All right, so you're just going to continue working a single crochet around. All right, join with a slip stitch into your first single crochet and leave a long tail for sewing. This is what your snout should look like. So what I do is I pull my center nice and tight, and then I get rid of that. This is my long tail for sewing, and I have this excess yarn, so I just tie it up. And now you take your blue nose and we are going to sew it on. So this is on the top. This is how I sew it on, all right? This is on the top. This is our back loops only, so this is kind of like where it folds over. So I sew it along this row right here. So I just place that right there, just like that. It comes down to this row. So that's just where I sew it into. You just eyeball it, kind of center it out, and that's it. Again, this top row, I just do along this edge. That's just what works for me. I always like to use the rows as a sort of ruler. It just helps kind of guide me and making sure that everything is somewhat symmetrical, because I'm not really the best at looking at something and knowing, okay, no, it's crooked, unless it's like really crooked. But if it's just slightly off, I'm not good at seeing that. So you just continue this way. I just go back up, and then I take this side and I pull it in here, and then I just tie this off. And you are done with the nose and snout area. Now we can put everything together. Okay, so for this portion, you will just need your threading needle and your scissors. We have our base of our hat, and the first thing that we're going to do is our ears. So if you notice, the ears, I start them on after the second row. So this side will go over here, and then the one with the string on this side will go over here. So what I do is this is our first row, this is our second row. I go right along that line after the second row. And I'm just sewing this along here. And now, just for reference, this edge will be along the line after the second row. This edge will be along the line after the 1, 2, 3, 4th row. So this line in between the 4th and the 5th row, this is our guide to where the ear ends. Because you want it to have that sort of cupped look, if that makes sense. You just want to make sure that your last one just goes through that line after the second row, and you pull that, and that is your first ear on. All right, I'm just going to clip this so it's not too long and not too much in the way. And now we're going to work on the other ear. All right, again, same situation. You're going to start here on the line after the second row, and you're going to end here, the line after the 4th row. You just want it on that edge of the hat, all right? All right, we're not going to fasten it off yet because we're going to do that at the ends. But this is how your ears should look. And just so that we're all on the same page, this is the front of the hat. And we know that this is the front of the hat because this is how the ear flaps fit. This is the back. This is where we did our join, when we did our color change. And this is our seam. So that's going to be to the back so that no one can see that. This is where we joined our single crochet. And this is the front. All right. So those were the ears. Now let's move on to the next step. Okay, guys, this next part, it's the bridge. And for this particular hat, this size hat, we're going to be sewing it on after the 5th row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that 5th row, that line right afterwards, that's where you're going to line the top of your bridge and just sew it along that line. So I like to use that line as my sort of guide. And again, we're doing it in the 5th row just for the purpose of the child size. For toddler and 6 to 12 months, I normally do it after the 4th row. And again, that is up to you if you want to do it after the 4th row. But for child, I just feel like it just expands the face a little more since the hat is a little bigger. All right, so you just want to line it up after the 5th row, kind of center it in between the ears. You can eyeball it, you could pin it if you want to, but really just try to center it and try to make it as straight as possible because the eyes are going to go a little over it and the snout is going to go on the bottom of it. So it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Just eyeball it. Okay, so now that we have it on, you can see this is the way it should look like. You just want to have it sewed on nice and sturdy so that we can add the other pieces. Next part is going to be the eyes. So remember how we did them kind of facing each other? So this one is going to be on this side and this one is going to be on this side. So I'm going to start with this side. The way I place it is I go along the line of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, the 5th row. So this row from the top of here to here, I leave that empty and I put my whites along here. Also, I sort of overlap it just a little on the light blue bridge part, and the bottom of your eyes will reach this portion. So it would go right along the rim of the change between the dark blue and the light blue. Okay? So that is how I guide my eyes so that you guys are not totally and completely in the dark when you're sewing on your eyes. So you can see, this is what I mean about it goes on the blue. Just a little, just on the edge of it. Now I'm sewing along that line after the 5th row. And there's normally 3 stitches that kind of get sewed onto that line, and then I start coming back around. That's just what works for me. You can do whatever you feel looks best or you feel comfortable with, or however you want to do it. But I just wanted to be as helpful as possible and give you guys as many tips as I can. And again, this bottom portion is going to be sewed along this line. And you have the first eye sewed on. Now let's do the second part. Okay, so remember that the eye is going to go along the edge of the 5th, after the 5th row. It's going to go somewhat on the blue, and then the bottom is going to go along this edge, okay? And I kind of line it up, make sure that my things kind of look the same. So you're going to end up with your string kind of more down here. That is okay. I see what space I have here with this little dark blue portion, and I try to match that up. You're not going to be able to see that because the snout area is on it, but I just like to keep an eye on that and match it up. And there are your eyes. Okay, guys, now we're going to put on the eyebrows. So for the eyebrows, I use these two rows here. So this is row 4 and row 5 as my template, my guide as to where these eyebrows are going. So the eyebrows are kind of on a slant, like a tilt, if you would say, kind of going upwards. So I take my first eyebrow, and again, between rows 4 and rows 5, and I kind of insert my hand in here. And you see that double crochet like right before the ear. That's kind of where I'm going to insert my needle. Just turn it and lay it. So the whole point is for the bottom of this corner of the eyebrow to hit the line after the 5th row, and the top of this corner of the eyebrow to hit the top of the line before the 4th row. All right, that's kind of what our guide is. And just sew it on. Okay, I'm on that line on the top of the 4th row, the line between the 3rd and the 4th row. So I'm just going to get that little edge there. Pull that through. So now this bottom corner and this corner are going to kind of be across from each other in a sense. You don't need them touching, but you just want them right there to each other. And then this last corner is going to go right on the line after the 5th row. Just kind of stick that in there somewhere. So this is the first eyebrow. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side, where we're going to work from the top of the 4th row line to underneath the 5th row line. So these 2 rows, this is where we're sewing our eyebrow on, okay? So if you want, you can kind of look to see the space that you have there, and you can kind of go off of that so that you have the same space on the other side. Like I said, it doesn't have to be to the exact 10th degree, exact centimeter, whatever, but more or less so that it sort of looks symmetrical. I keep hitting this and it keeps falling. Okay. And feel free, you see, like right now, it had kind of went down. Feel free to check yourself. Figure out where your guides are. My guides are these 2 rows. So I'm just going to hold this up a little and sew it along. You could put a pin so that you hold it with a pin in place and then sew it like that. Whatever works for you is fine. And then we're going to do this last little corner right on that line after the 5th row to match up the other side. And then this back in the corner up here. Straighten that out. And your eyebrows are done. All right, so this last portion is just going to be the nose and snouts. And I like to line it up against the line right before the single crochet border. So then basically that would be here. And that would mean that we're kind of pushing it up here. So along this row is where I'm going to put the top of my snout. Just remember that this is a square piece, so we really want to show that, and we really want to make sure that we are stretching out the corners. Okay, so now I just take my threading needle and kind of just give it a little pop so that it can kind of stick out a little bit. And you are done with the face. Just turn your hat inside out and fasten off all of your loose ends. Okay guys, so you're just going to turn your hat inside out, and I just find 2 pieces of string and tie them along with each other. Just make 3 knots. Always remember the first knot, don't do it too tight because you don't want to squinch the hat up. The second knot can be tight, and then the third knot tight as well, and just cut it off. And this is how you're going to just fasten off all of your loose ends. Okay, so this is how your Bluey should be looking like. Now it's time to move on to the braids. So I do my braids tricolor with the midnight blue, the sky blue, and the white. You can do your braids all in one color, the sky blue. It's completely up to you. This is how I do them. I do 6 strands of each color on each side, and they're about 36 inches in length because I do get asked that question. And here is how I like to put them on. So I insert my hook from the back of the ear flap through the front, and you just want to figure out, where in the ear flap you want to do it. If you want to do a little higher, a little lower, and just push your hook through. Find a spot, push it through. Now, for the center color, I always pick the same color as my ear flap. I just feel like it just makes sense. This is a complete preference. And then you just want to make sure that your both sides add up, they line up, that they're even throughout. Now I add my darker color to the front. Again, making sure that both sides line up. And then I grab my last color, which is the white. Now, when you're inserting your hook, you're inserting it into different holes of the ear flap. They are not going into the same hole. You could do it that way if that's how you want to do it. I don't do it that way. I just find it a little easier to maneuver my braid when they're in their own separate little holes. And again, making sure that everything is even, and then we can move on to the actual braid part. So for the braid part, what I do is I separate all light colors. So I get 3 rows, one of dark, one of light blue, and one of white. And then I'm just going to braid as I would braid a normal hair, a regular braid on a ponytail or something like that. And I just keep braiding until I get all the way to the bottom. And then what you're going to do is you're going to measure it along your other braid and see where your other braid ended at, because your other braid will be kind of like your guide. And once you find a spot that you feel like both braids are even, then you can take a scrap piece of yarn and make a knot. You see, so here I am just measuring. I am grabbing both tops together and measuring down. So I have to just finish it up a little bit so that it can be the same. And that's where that would be even. So now I'm just going to take my scrap piece of yarn, wrap it around. I wrap it around a few times, and then I just tie it. And I normally try to tie it and make the knot on the inside of the braid. You don't really see it, but I just prefer it to be on the inside of the braid. line it up again. Okay, once you line it up, I just grab scissors and just cut it across evenly. This just makes it for a nice, cleaner edged look. And the length of that, again, is your preference. Whatever you feel comfortable with, I just do a little bit off. And there you have it. There's Bluey. If you guys have stuck with me to the end of the video, you are a real one. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, thank you for hanging out with me and learning to crochet.